Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is my favorite retired dolls and comparing them to similar dolls. So the reason why I decided to make this video is a few months back I made a very similar one but with dolls that were not retired, and a few of the top comments asked me if I could remake it but with retired dolls so that people who want to get a retired doll could know a little bit more, know which ones I really like, which ones I think are worth the money, and also compare them to dolls that I find similar to them, whether they have the same vibe or some same characteristics or features or whatever it might be. And so I'm doing that today. I'm going to be comparing my favorite retired dolls to other dolls. Most of them I own, but a couple of them I'll be pulling pictures from the American Girl website, so not all of them are completely accurate because I'm not really sure, but for the most part they will be from my own experience. So that being said, let's hop right into the video. Alright, the first doll we'll be talking about today is none other than Truly Me number 40, Lily. Now you guys know I'm completely obsessed with this doll, and I feel like throughout my channel I've kind of caused other people to become obsessed with her. So between her dark brown hair, her dark brown eyes, and her cute Jess mold face, like, you can't get any better than her. Some of the dolls she looks like include Truly Me number 30, my doll Kita, and also Truly Me number 64, who I don't own as of right now, as far as you guys know. But yeah, she's the main one that I think about when I think about this doll. Also, of course, Jess, and now this doll right here, Hyacinth, a Truly Me number 84. She does have a lot of lookalikes. She looks similar to Z Yang as well, and has some similarities to Ivy. But overall, I feel like 40 is a really good middle point for all those dolls. The next doll we'll be talking about is Truly Me number 62, Eden. Now the thing about 62 is that she is pretty hard to find because a lot of people are looking for her, and so unless you find a really good deal, she probably is going to be pretty expensive. She's very sought after because she has very unique features. Her eye color is one that's very rarely ever seen, and her skin tone is the only Sonali mold with that skin tone, so she is pretty unique in any line. The only doll I really think looks similar to her that I have is Truly Me number 47, and really they're not even that similar. They have very different skin tones and their eye color is not the same, but they do have kind of a similar vibe, and if you can't find a 62, I do think you'd be happy with 47. 47 obviously has layered hair and 62 does not, and their parts are flipped, but they look fairly similar. Next up, we're going to be talking about Truly Me number 28, my doll Rome. Now 28 is a really underrated doll in my opinion. She does look a lot like Marisol. That's the number one doll I think about when I think about her, but she has some similarities to other dolls too, although I'll say this one's probably my favorite out of all the lookalikes. Out of the dolls that are still available, however, I would say her most lookalike is probably Truly Me number 66. They're not identical, they have different colored hair, and their skin tones are slightly different, but I do feel they have a very similar vibe, and they do kind of compare to one another, so if you weren't able to get 28 and you really had your heart set on her, maybe 66 could be a good option for you too. So another one of my favorite retired dolls is definitely my doll Persephone. She is a Gabriella McBride Girl of the Year 2017 doll, and I love her because of her hair. It's very long and chocolatey, and the tight ringlet curls that are just so pretty. Her eyes are gorgeous, and her skin tone is just so beautiful and kind of like iridescent, and I really like that about her. The doll that I feel in my collection looks the most like her is again number 47. I feel like number 47 is kind of a middle way for a lot of dolls that I actually own in my collection, and a lot of dolls in general, and I feel like Gabriella is definitely no exception. When you look at them together, you definitely see that they have similar eyes and just a very similar vibe overall, even though they are different. The other doll I'm going to be comparing Gabriella to is Truly Me number 44, Phoenix. Now these two do not have a strong resemblance at all. The only thing that really looks similar between them is their hair. They both have those tight ringlet curls that are kind of middle kind of length, and they're both really pretty, kind of a chocolate brown. Phoenix is a little bit more dark, but overall they do have a similar vibe to them as well. Next up, we have the only doll that I don't have any dolls to compare to, and that is Truly Me number 49, Danny. Now this doll, for whatever reason, I just couldn't see her in any of my other dolls. I couldn't see her resemblance, and maybe I'm crazy, but I really do think she's very unique, and I don't think American Girl made anything even kind of like her. The closest thing that I could find on the website was Truly Me number 60. I do think they share a resemblance, but overall I think she's very unique based on the dolls that I own at least, and other than customs and create your owns, I really haven't seen anybody that looks too much like her. The only doll that I would compare her to from my collection is Truly Me number 55, and that's not even because they look alike, but because they have a very similar hairstyle that allows for the same kind of hair. So that being said, I find Danny to be very, very unique. The next doll we have here is Athena, my Grace Thomas Girl of the Year 2015 doll. The reason why she's on this list is because I do think she's really pretty and she does stand out in a crowd. I'm going to be completely honest, I was never a fan of side bangs until I got this doll. She really makes it work and I find that very interesting, and I love her eyebrows. I love that she made a new eyebrow pattern, and her freckles are just really cute, so I do think there are a lot of people that like her, and for good reason. I think she's worth the money, and you can actually find her very cheap online, so I think that's a really great positive. Now honestly, I can compare her to a lot of other dolls because I do feel like she has a lot of similarities to quite a few other dolls, but the first one I'll compare her to is Krissa. I think they look very alike, and between the eye color and also the hair color, I do think there's a lot of similarity there. I think she's kind of Krissa 2.0 to be completely honest, but I don't really mind it because they're both ridiculously pretty. The last doll I'll be directly comparing Grace to is my McKenna doll, Girl of the Year 2012. Now McKenna I do feel looks very similar to Grace for no other reason than their face looks the same. They obviously have very different hair and a very different story and everything, and different eyebrows, but I feel like their eyes and their face mold and their blushing really makes them look similar for some reason, and I know that not everyone thinks that, but I definitely do. The next doll I'll be talking about today is my doll Kanani. You guys know she's one of my favorites of all time, and it doesn't matter how expensive she gets, for some reason I still think she's worth it. She is absolutely perfect. That being said, they do have a doll that they pretty much made to be her lookalike, and that is Truly Me number 79. They share such a striking resemblance, and while I don't own her, I do know this based on pictures. So if you guys missed out on Kanani but you still want to get a doll that looks like her, I do think that would fit really well. The other doll that I feel looks a lot like Kanani is Truly Me number 44 Phoenix. The reason why I think they look similar is because of their face. Their hairstyles and color are different, but they do share a very similar skin tone and also eye color. While their face molds are a different face shape, Kanani has the Jess mold and 44 has the classic mold. I do think they share a striking enough resemblance that if you don't want number 79, you should be able to go get 44 and feel pretty happy with your decision because they do have a very strong resemblance in their eye and skin tone. So of course, this couldn't be a complete obsessions list if I didn't include Elizabeth, the historical character, and Felicity's best friend. Elizabeth is by far one of my favorite dolls American Girl has ever created. I absolutely love her pin curls and her hair color and just everything about her, and I think she's stunning. But luckily, there are quite a few dolls they've made since that look similar to her, so if you're not willing to spend the amount to get her, there are other options that can kind of work the same. So the doll I feel looks the most like her that's still available at this very moment is Kira Bailey Girl of the Year 2021. Now they don't have exactly the same look to them, but they do have something similar, and that is their face mold and kind of their hair color and just overall kind of what they look like. They have a very similar appearance in some ways, and while their eye color is different and they have different eyebrows, I do feel like in some ways they do share something. Even though I can't really put my finger on it, they do have something in common. And the other doll I'll be comparing Elizabeth to is McKenna Girl of the Year 2012. Now I'll compare her to McKenna because I do feel these two are almost identical in so many ways other than their hair and their eyebrows, but I feel like everything else is just so similar, and while they have a little bit of different coloring to their face, overall I feel they are really similar and they are just both so cute, so I don't think you can go wrong either way. And finally, the last retired doll we'll be talking about today is Girl of the Year 2016, Leah Clark. Now this doll is one that a lot of people are looking after. They want her. She's beautiful, she's super photogenic, and she does have brand new eyebrows they had never used before, and her hair color is super pretty with her skin tone. That being said, she is expensive, so if you are looking for a cheaper alternative, I do recommend Kira Bailey. While they're not exactly similar in a lot of ways, as other people have said, it does look like Kira was kind of just a toned down version of Leah, and I do think that's true. I think she has a very similar hairstyle and overall kind of a similar vibe to her. If you're really set on Leah though, I do think she's worth the money, and I have seen some really good prices on eBay for her lately, but again, Kira's a great option. The other doll I would compare her to is Truly Me number 28 Rome. I do think they share some similarities as well. Mostly their face mold and their hair color is kind of similar, but obviously 28's is darker. Leah has green eyes, but I do feel like they again have kind of a similar vibe to them. And with that, we are ending today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, as always, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and make sure to look out next week for my next video. I am going to be doing another unboxing, so make sure to guess down below who you think the doll is, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye guys!